He's laughing like that because he's got, inverted commas, yucca plants in the back that he's just picked up from someone. Started off the morning again, though, with a warranty claim, unfortunately. To your disappointment, no doubt, I have chickened out. So I got in nice and early today because yesterday, having to get the VAT done, I didn't get on with the Mirage. I want to get on with that today because I've got the people picking up the Golf. I want to get this finished before then, ideally, so I can get it up for sale, do the handover of the Golf, and then start cracking on with the i10 before I get the dog smell Astra back, which only passed its MOT. It's straight pass on its MOT. Oh, hold on. Yeah, straight pass on its MOT. I think it's advisory free. I'll double check on that. And the engine management light was a glow plug, as we thought it was, which isn't the cheapest glow plug. It's about £70 plus the fitting, but I haven't got any bill for the MOT, so that's ideal. So as I said, although it was a little bit scruffy, it was a really good car because it's got a full service history. It's gone straight for its MOT. So it'll be a good car. We have started off the morning again, though, with a warranty claim, unfortunately. So obviously we're working on the Polo situation at the moment. Last month I had a record month, and as many of you said, quite rightly, if you send 22 cars out the door, you're going to start to get claims. Even if you have like a 10% claim rate, that would be fairly reasonable. So we're going to get 3 claims or more out of that. The one this morning is for the Suzuki Swift that I sent out the door, which is a cracking little car. The chap's messaged me, someone said that the passenger side electric windows stopped working. I sent that out with a warranty-wise gold warranty because they live a little way from me, I think down Exeter. Just check the warranty. Why is that blurring on the screen? Hold on 2 seconds, guys. It's better. I've just checked my gold cover, my warranty-wise, and it does say here that, zoom in for you, that in the electrical system, that window regulators and motors are covered. So as it's not working from either switch, I'm going to assume it's the motor. So what the customer now has to do is find a VAT registered garage that's prepared to work with warranty-wise, or they can, I think warranty-wise, work with Halfords or Quick Fit. So either they can find someone local, but worst case scenario, if they struggle with that at all, or they just would rather I did it, they pop it back here. I get onto it, get the fix done down at Moores and claim back from warranty-wise. But the idea of the warranty is that they can obviously get it done down their way without too much hassle. So the gold cover does cover quite a lot of stuff. I know a lot of people say just underwrite your own warranties, this, that and the other. The trouble with it is I'm not down next to. They drop it into the wrong garage and have the work done, and the garage could overcharge on labour. The garage could overcharge on the regulator and the motor. But you know, so I can control that by saying come back here and get it fixed, but then I'm inconveniencing the customer by having to come all the way from Exeter, drop the car off here, get a lift home, then come back and pick up and so forth. So by providing the warranty, yes, it cost me another £100 on the sale or so, but the customer can get the work done. We've seen it's covered. So it's down to them to find a VAT registered garage, and if they haven't got one of their choice, warranty-wise, can direct them one to work with. So that should be a relatively open and shut case, but as we know in this game, that's not always the way it works. And we're selling old cars. 2012 now. You're getting on, 10 years old, stuff's starting to fail, and with the best will in the world, you send them out with a fresh. So I always say I send them out with an advisory-free MOT. I send them out serviced. I send them out doing the bodywork as best as I can. But after what we're getting on near a month of getting, that was a month before, wasn't it? So she's had it for around about a month of usage. Stuff's going to start to, stuff on a 10-year-old car is going to start to fail every now and then. There's no way you could predict that motor. I know lots of people in the comments would like to believe that I can and say, well, if you send them out right in the first place, if an electric window is working when you send a car out the door and it stops working afterwards, I mean, you could. See, this is the interesting thing as well, is under the Consumer Rights Act, I could, as a dealer, say, if I had a video, for example, proving that window opened and shut when I took the car away, you could say that it is that it wasn't a fault at point of purchase. Remember that the law only actually covers things that are fault at point of purchase, but at the end of the day, she's only had it for a month, so I'm not going to argue the toss on that at all, am I? Anyway, and you could always argue as well, I guess, that there was an underlying fault that was there in the motor when the car went out, but hadn't come to light yet. So you could argue it till the cows come home. You're never going to win, and I don't want to. At the end of the day, I don't want to. Lovely lady, paid a fair price for the car. I put a warranty on it, so we'll cover it. Easy, simple as that. Oh, by the way, thanks to everyone on the Citroen DS that messaged me about the Salvage Rebuilds UK video on them repairing their Peugeot RCZ, is it? With the same engine. I had actually watched the video when it first came out, and the first thing I did was order up exactly the same kit as them. So it is playing part starts a little bit, but it wasn't massively expensive. It's not going to add huge cost to the car overall to do it. So we're going to get the old water pump, because the coolant was dirty anyway, wasn't it? So we're going to get the water pump done, fresh coolant, fresh belt, tensioners, the works on that, and then we'll see if that makes any difference, because it may well be that's what's doing that, and the uneven idle was due to coked up head, because people have talked about having these walnut blasted, because the valves get a build up behind them. So it might be the slightly uneven idle at the beginning, where sometimes it doesn't make the horrible sort of rattly noise. It may well be that because the rest of the time it'll just make it have a slightly uneven idle. It may well be that it is the water pump and the tensioner that's doing the bad noise, and then the rest of it is just normal build up of a cokey head, which I'm not going to get walnut blasted, because I think probably some additives and a good run with only 30,000 miles, and it probably just needs some additives and a really good run. But yeah, thanks for tagging me for it, but I was absolutely bombarded with well-meaning people via every single, I think some of them have commented on every single video, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on email, telephone calls. Yeah, I did actually watch the video the minute it came out, because I do watch those boys. So it was interesting to see them do that. It could be something I tackled myself, but I don't know I'm going to have time. I'm probably going to get Moores on it. Right, 9:30, we've got quite a bit achieved. The Mitsubishi's had, it's clean, it's shampooed clean. I've used a polisher on some of the worst scratches on it. We'll go through and give the whole thing a wax. Engine bay's had a clean. Door shuts have been done. So I say give it a wax and then we'll hit the interior. But I hopped onto the Golf, gave it a quick detailer over it, re-glossed the tyres again, checked the windscreen washer oil, topped up any levels need topping up, just needed some washer fluid. I've gone round, done the tyre pressures on it. So yeah, so by 9:30 got quite a lot achieved with the help of some rather loud dance music, which is good because no one else is in, so I haven't upset anyone. So right, crack on and get the interior of the Mitsubishi done before these people come to pick up the Golf. Right, Moores have picked up the ASX. I did just swap the camera out before they got here because the camera arrived, but it doesn't seem to still be working, so I don't know what's going on with that. Really, it's the camera, isn't it? Unless it's been unplugged from the back of the monitor, it's the camera or nothing, isn't it? So unless I was in bad luck and got a bad camera, I can't really mess up wiring in because it's got one jack plug. Anyway, I've asked to have a look at that. But the reason they've taken the ASX is the ASX had a new MOT on it, but it'd been left with an advisory for corrosion. And I whipped underneath the car, and it had surface rust on the rear beam and down the sills. I can't remember if I've already said this or not. And I'm just too busy at the moment to do it myself. So and also I can't obviously re-MOT it. So I've asked them to take it down there, wire brush it off, wax all it, and then re-MOT it so it's got no advisories on it, because I want that to be advisory free. I have got good margin in that car, so although I haven't had huge interest, I've had one buyer come and see it, I have got room to drop the price down I can drop the price down to low price in Auto Trader and still be come out of it with good margins. Fingers crossed if this MOT doesn't throw up something that was missed by the last MOT person. But let's finally get this Mirage finished off, because I just need to hoover it now. So, Golf has gone. I've taken the Suzuki Swift back in part exchange. Didn't realise the ladies had it from new. It's a one owner. So it's a one owner Suzuki Swift 1.2 with, let me remind myself of the mileage. The mileage is 49,000 miles. I didn't realize I've got a one owner 50,000 mile Swift. That's not bad going at all, is it? It hasn't got a full service history, it's got a part service history. The chap started servicing himself. He even said he's put some servicing stuff in the boot, I think, that he's got left over from doing it. Yeah, so, true to his word, he's got some filters that he's got and some spark plugs. So he clearly has been doing it. Although, the only problem is, she's giving it a good old scrape, isn't she? I don't know if some of this will come out or not. So the question is, do I do the repairs or just trade it out as it is for somebody else to do it? It probably is a good bit of stock, isn't it? I guess a one owner 50,000 mile car, but I could possibly sell it as it is without doing the paintwork to someone cheaper, but obviously I'll get a premium for it if I go around and do the paintwork. It's something I might do myself because there's too many panels to be done by somebody else. I'll save quite a lot of money that way. That one, I can touch this bit in here and keep the paint down to there. And this one, I would have to paint into here. It's exactly the same damage as the last one we had, isn't it? Again, I could probably touch that in and keep the paint to there rather than come up into here, but it wouldn't be a headache to blend into that area there. And then we've got one more substantial one down here. So there is a lot of paint to do on it. I think I might put it out there as an offer as is rather than spend hours on it. I might be able to make the same margin selling it as it is cheaply than spend hours on it to try and get a premium for it. I have of course been able to drive this one, taken it out for a 10-minute run, and I know David, you're going to shout down below, gearbox seems, touch wood, okay on it so far. So yeah, I'll probably put it out on Instagram as an offer for someone to buy, trade probably. Well, that's the Mirage all done, ready for listing tonight with my mega low internet speeds at home. Hopefully that'll be the last time because I'm getting satellite broadband fitted at home. So hopefully I'll be able to get more uploads done more often for you guys. It's been a bit quiet lately, I know, but trying to get this done and get uploads done with the speeds I get is really, really hard. It's come out really nice, that gunmetal grey polished up lovely. So although yes, it may be a little basic, it's a really nice looking little car. And if you are one of those people that, you know, vehicles are all about just getting from A to B for the lowest cost possible, then this is probably the way to go. 0 road tax, 60 miles to the gallon. There's nothing to go wrong with it because you've only got electric front windows. Other than that, you've got no aircon, you've got no central locking, you've got no anything else really, no turbos to worry about, no electronic gizmos at all. I guess you could probably fix this car with a spoon. The 1 litre's chain driven, isn't it, I believe? So there's nothing on that side of things to be repaired either. I will double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's chain driven. So yeah, there's really, it sounds an awful lot to me. Comment down below, tell me if I'm right. It sounds an awful lot to me like the engine is the same one used in the Igo and the Citroen C1s. It sounds an awful lot like it. I haven't had a closer look. I can't remember if this is 3-cylinder or not. Let's have a quick look a sec. Yes, it's 3-cylinder and it's chain driven, so I put money on this being the same engine as in the Igos and the Citroen C1s, that kind of thing. Again, comment down below if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the case, and if so, these are super tough little units. They really are. They'll put up with all kinds of abuse, and they're crazy simple to service. You know, flick these 2 clips up here, change the air filter out, the oil filter and the drain plug at the front of the engine, so you can even do oil changes on the other ones. You can do oil changes without even jacking the car up, so we'll see if I can on this one or not. Yeah, super simple to run. So yeah, if low cost running is what you're all about, this is the car for you. But obviously being 2015 and probably being around the 4K mark, it's a relatively new car for the money as well, isn't it? So we'll see how I get on with it. It'll be interesting to see how it sells, but I'm sure there's a bum for every seat, and I'm sure there's someone out there that doesn't necessarily want all the gizmos, and they just want super low running costs. Obviously didn't get as much done today as I wanted. I wanted to crack on with the i10 as well. I was hoping I'd get underway on that, but with the handover of the Golf and some other bits and bobs, and that ended up having some dog hair in the boot as well. Lucky it doesn't smell of dog at all, but it did have lots of very long hairs that took me a while to get out, so that took me longer than expected as well. But it's a never-ending list, isn't it, guys? Because since then, obviously, dog smell, Astra's back. The boys were saying they saw it when it first came in and were thinking and smelt it and thought, oh dear, but actually they say it's a really sound car, which we knew because it had the full service history. So they did they replaced one glow plug, and they didn't need anything for the MOT other than the bulb. They replaced a glow plug, but what they did do for me is a DPF regen on it, and they said it was getting up to needing one, so they did a DPF regen for me on that. So that now needs to be cleaned and put up for sale, and I've got a little bit more paint to do on the front of it. Obviously I've just taken the Suzuki Swift in part exchange. That needs the work doing to it if I'm going to retail it, but I need to crack on with the Golf as Polo, change out the oil on it, change out the oil filter, oil, and the what am I going to change? The PCV valve. Test that out again so we can let Zan know what the score is with that and see which way he wants to go. Obviously we've got the Jag next door. I need to get down and get the engine management light checked on it, and we've got the, obviously we've still got the Micra, and we've obviously got the little oh, what is it, VW Up. Just waiting on a few bits for that, aren't I, to put that together. And I have bought a car off of my main dealer mate today. He gave me a bell. He needed help to close a deal. Customer wanted a couple more £100 than he would really allow for on the car, but it was a Nissan Note on a 2012 with 32,000 miles on it, and it's a 1.4 petrol, so ticks all of the boxes for me. I'm going to jinx this now, but the Nissan Note is the only car, or Nissans in general, that I've never had warranty claims on. I should probably jinxed it now, but 1.4 seems great at the moment for people being petrol conscious, but a good mid-sized cars. People are slightly off the diesels at the moment, and the mega low miles should make it quite popular. And it's an N-Tech Plus, so it's got all of the features on it as well. So he says there's a little bit of paint needed on the front wing, and the wheels could do with a refurb. But I think if I remember rightly, on those N-Tech Plus, the polished metal parts are sitting proud of the rest of the wheel, so I could probably just run a DA over it and buff the hell out of it, get some shine back that way, but we'll see when we get it in. Now for tonight, what we're going to do, you know the score, the Suzuki Swift has come in with quarter of a tank of fuel, so we're going to take that out, dual purpose. I save money on fuel, but I also get to check whether the car's any good or not. I'd like to say I did take it for a 10-minute run when I first got it in, but we'll be able to take it for a proper run and double check that it goes well. Having recently had one, I know exactly how it should feel. So let's get packed up, take that home. So good news is, guys, the Suzuki Swift drove home and back fine last night, no problem at all. Really nice little drive. I tell you what, I've said it before, I'll say it again, if you're looking for a 1.2 sort of size engine in a small little hatch, this is the best drive-in above everything. The Fiestas might have slightly better build quality, be slightly less tinny, but the performance of these, I mean, if you drive a Corsa and then drive one of these, you'll never consider a Corsa ever again. These drive so much better. They are absolutely the best small car with the 1.2 in. So it's this, for me, it's this, then it's the Mazda 2, and then it would probably be the Fiesta 1.2 after that. Can't think of anything I've missed off there, but yeah, no, maybe even a Micra actually, maybe even a Micra before a Fiesta, in terms of reliability and stuff as well. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. The only thing to be careful on these is the gearboxes, because they have got a reputation for going. But no, drove really, really great, but it might be already sold. And it might already be sold to Davey, because Davey wants to flip a car. Davey, the paint guy, wants to flip a car, and I've told him it's not as easy as it looks like it is. But this seems like a perfect car for him. He keeps missing out on them, because obviously he can do the paint for free himself, well, obviously minus the cost of the consumables. So it's a good, but mechanically it seems sound, so it's a good car for him to flip. Probably been a little bit generous in letting him have it for the price I've let him have it for, because as many of you said on the Instagram, if you're not following me on Instagram, get on there, because you'll get the heads up on stuff a lot earlier. It should probably be a retail car for me. Get him to paint the corners for me, clean it up and retail it. But to be honest, the difference between selling it to Davey and doing nothing to it and doing all of that work and retailing it, it's not absolutely huge. It's not absolutely huge in terms of, remember, I can't cash out of the deal until I've sold the Part X. So I'm literally still in a minus on the Golf, really, until the Part X is sold. So the quicker it's sold, the better, better, really, put the money back in the bank. But the thing with this as well is the profit I could make out of this is going to be another month down the road anyway. By the time I've had the chance to get it done, it'll be another month down the road. So if I can sell it at a profit now, help Davey out, and put the money in the bank without any issues of any comeback, then it's probably the way to go. But I've told him to come and drive it himself. I said, because although it drove home and back fine last night, there's no guarantees in this game. You have to wonder why someone swapped a 2012 car with 50-odd thousand miles in against a 2011 car with 117 on it. Now, maybe she just wanted it a convertible and wanted to put as little money down as possible, but yeah, you still have to wonder. The telling is normally the cold start in the morning, but this actually started absolutely bang on this morning. It started fine yesterday. There's no sign of any overheating. The gearbox is good. Yeah, it seems like a good car, but I told David there's absolutely no guarantees in this game. If you buy it off me like this, there's no comeback, no returns. You know, that's the risk of the game, because you get the reward for taking the risk, like I always say. So guys, Friday morning, been over to the main dealers, Nick over at the main dealership, and sorted out my Nissan Note that I've bought from him. Had a quick check of it, quick drive round on it, apart from having a warm bolster on the leather on the seat, which isn't ideal, and a slightly mismatched front wing. Other than that, the car's in really good nick, drove really well. So we're getting that picked up this afternoon. But while I was over there, he offered me a car. I don't know what I've done here. He offered me a car, 2012 Freelander, 2.2 diesel, Sport SE, so fully specced out job, only 53,000 miles on a 2012. Really nice car. Took it for a drive. All the fluid levels were bang on, drove beautifully, but the kicker is no service history. There's no service history on the car. He's asked, the customer said there is a service history, but they haven't dropped it in. He's chased them up for it and they haven't dropped it in. So now he's having to sell it on the basis it doesn't have a service history, which obviously hits the value. Its retail is 16.5k. I double checked it on Auto Trader. There are cars up for sale. I've checked with some other dealers. The retail is definitely 16.5k. Right, so that recording was interrupted because I just had a call. The service history has been found for that. So the price has gone up a bit on it, but it's still a good price. Still makes me nervous. We sold the truck, didn't we, for 15. To sell something for 16 will be pushing us up again, but I guess we've got to take a brave pill every now and then, haven't we? So anyway, I'll be introduced to that car a little bit later today by the looks of it.
Adrian's picked me up. We're doing a run. He's laughing like that because he's got inverted commas yucca plants in the back that he's just picked up from someone. I'm not too sure about who pays to pick up yucca plants, so I've got a question mark over that. We'll have to look at the back of the van. But he's dropping me down to the main dealers to pick up the cars I bought this morning. So we have the Nissan Note and the Freelander that's making me nervous because I'm spending a lot of money and I don't normally spend a lot of money. So we're going to hoom back in those, get them back straight away same day, and yeah, we'll get to have a look at them. So I'll get the camera on when we get in the first one and drive it back. But yeah, cheers Aid for picking us. A&K Van Services, remember, I'll put a link down below if you need your yucca plants picking up. Oh, I'm very disappointed, guys. It is just 2 yuccas. You paid for those 2 small plants to be delivered. I thought the back was going to be full of them. Oh yeah, the real stuff's been dropped off, isn't it? That's the cover story's there. No one paid for just 2 plants. Here's all Adrian's info for your yucca plant moving requirements. I basically don't think there's anything he won't transport for you guys. Put him to the test maybe. Send him a message. So we're in the Freelander, the 2.2 diesel 2012 with 53,000 miles, automatic. It's a Sport SE. Someone will be able to tell me how high up that is in the spec level. I imagine it's fairly high. We're kicking along here in the 40-mile-an-hour zone. It's changing gear nice and smoothly. It's riding okay. There's no warning lights on the dashboard. My father-in-law's got one of these. I've driven it a few times. It feels very similar. I think these are quite popular, aren't they? Because they stopped making the Freelanders, and they didn't really fill the gap with a similar model, particularly similar model. And I know my father-in-law bemoans that, so he's kept hold of his 2012, 2014 maybe his is forever and a day, because he likes them so much. like I say, just didn't release another model, did they? So they are fairly popular, which I imagine is why they've got quite a strong price point really for the age of the vehicle. They I say retail for this is over 16.5 grand. So the question with it is am I brave and try and retail this myself, even though I don't offer finance, I haven't got the glass fronted unit, you know, I am me, as those of you who watch the channel know. I rock about in surf tees and some combats, and you know, you may well turn up and find me covered in dirt from faffing around playing with a car. So can I retail 16.5 grand motors and not offer finance? I don't know. I don't know. We took that risk with the truck and we sold the truck. I don't know. We've got Adrian up in front. He's a few cars up in front in the Nissan Note because that was still taxed. So we can get it back today. I'll drop him back to the van. We'll see what he thinks of that when he gets back to base. I drove it for a short distance, it seemed okay, but obviously now we're getting the vehicles up to temperature, getting some heat into them, and that's when we're going to find out what's for real. Obviously the advantage with these cars over buying at the auctions is even if I was physically at the auctions, I wouldn't be able to drive these cars and look around them as much as I am at this dealership before buying them. At the dealership, I'm looking around them, getting a chance to have a really good look over and form my own opinion on the bodywork. I get in them, I get to drive them about, I get to leave them running. So, you know, it's still a risk, but it's a more calculated risk than buying from the auctions. Little cars they are. Yeah. I always rate them, people look past them, I always say it's one of those ones, like I always say, it's the car people should buy, but it's the car people don't because they think like it's like you know, beneath them. Do you know what I mean? They kind of want something a bit fancier. So Freelander drove back lovely. I'll do a bit more of a video in a bit later on, but yeah, it seems to have driven lovely. Adrian says that the Nissan Note drives nicely. I've just had a quick look. Just when the boot to put the trade plates in. Look how clean it already is. It's super clean. Isn't it, mate? We're not going to have to do a lot of cleaning on this puppy, are we? It actually looks like it's been valeted. What's with my camera? Time for an important business meeting. We've got to discuss this whole transporting yuccas thing. So that'll be it for the rest of the day. Right guys, let's have a little look at what we picked up. I'm on my phone because I've run out of GoPro yet again. So excuse anything going on with that. So the Nissan Micra, as I said, it is what it is. It's driven back really nicely. Have a quick look around it. Headlights need a polish, as they always do on these. Sun really beats down on that flat section at the top, dulls it out, so we'll polish that up. We've got a little scuff there on the front wing, which I think is worth doing. Front alloys in good nick, doesn't seem too bad. Nothing on the mirror cap, door seems straight. Nice tinted glass, that wheel seems good as well. Corner of the bumper's good, nothing there, got rear parking sensors. Whole boot lid's good, no scrapes on that corner either. That alloy wheel is in good nick as well. Paint's all good down this side. We've got a front wing that's been painted here. You can see it's a slightly different shade of gold, but at the end of the day, most stuff at this age has had something paint wise on it. Mirror cap's good again. That front wheel's not quite as good as the other ones, a little bit of scuffing on it. Something going on there on the face of them, like someone tried to polish them. Didn't do a particularly good job or something. Hopefully we can tidy that up a bit, but I don't think it warrants refurbing the alloys. So overall, for the age 2012, it's good nick, good nick. Inside, we've got a patch over the seat here. It isn't outrageous, it could be done better. See what's underneath it a second. Oh, there's not as much cracking as I thought there was. Maybe get a vinyl kit and repair that. Depends what I do sales wise. Would I go for top price or just go for best sort of very attractive price? We've got all the handbooks here. Oh yes, comment down below with the bit of paint on the corner and that patch there. Would you sell as it is, or would you go about refurbing all of them? Right, service book. Now this has been a surprise to me, because normally people ditch servicing when they do stupidly low miles. Remember, this has only got 32,000 miles on it, but we've got a stamp. We've got 2013, so that'll be 2012. 2000 and sorry, So 2015, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So really good service history. We've got all the handbooks, all the condition of the stuff inside. Steering wheel's in good nick, all the trims in good nick. There's no real scraping or scratching. We've got the sat nav with the Bluetooth for the phone. We've got the rear parking sensors. Gear knobs all in good nick as you expect for the mileage. All round electric windows. Back seats in great nick. Carpet's fantastic. Sorry for the phone taking a while to adjust to the light. So that's all looking good. I checked the oil level before I set oil level was at the right level, and it's a really nice good colour, so that ties in with the service history. Just drives great. The 1.4, like I said, is chain driven, so maintenance is low on it. It's just a fantastic runabout. I think the retail for this is 5.5. Now that would be with the paint done, with the seat done, probably mop and polish that wheel up, tidy that up a bit. So again, the question is down below, would you skip all of that stuff, which would probably save around about 500 quid, allow you to retail it for sort of 5 grand, maybe 5.1, something like that, or do you do it all and go for the 5.5 on it? Comment down below, what would you expect in a vehicle like this? It's always interesting to see how many of you are of the mindset that it needs to be perfect, and how many of you say, well actually no, I wouldn't worry about it. Then obviously we've got the big boy, the Land Rover Freelander 2.2 diesel. This is the Sport SE, as I said earlier. We didn't look around the bodywork on it, did we? Front alloy wheel there, good nick, no paint needed on that. Rear alloy, good, no paint needed on that. Loads of tread on the tyre, loads of tread on the tyre. This alloy, good nick, no paint needed on that. I thought I did spot a little bit of curb on one of them, I can't remember which one it was now. That alloy again, good nick, no paint needed on it, so that's good because they're gunmetal grey. They make the car and they don't need any work, which is fantastic. Looking around the bodywork corner of the bumper here, no dings, scrapes or dents. Nothing around here. It's dirty, needs a wash obviously. No dings or dents on that corner. There's just a lot of this very light sort of dulling from the sort of hedges. Just needs a really good machine polish, and I'm sure it will come up absolutely mint. So you put a proper guy on it with a detailer, someone who knows what they're doing, and this thing is going to come up absolutely mint, and it'll be really good looking because you've got the corner of the front bumpers, there's no damage there either. Yeah, looking good. The phone went a bit funny there. Yeah, so yeah, front bumper's looking really good as well. No scrapes or that. Silver scene's in good nick. Headlights nice and clear. So like I say, with a really good detail on the outside, this thing's going to come up really nicely. Inside, again, it just needs a good hoover out, but the leather's all good. Again, get a good guy cleaning the leather. That will come up really nicely. Nice sport on the headrest there. All the leather's in really good nick. No concerns there at all. This will come up mint. It's got proper fitted mats that are colour coded. So that's good news as well. Again, this one, what, 53,000 miles was it? Low mileage. And then we've got a service history here. So services here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 services. Everything in here is in really good nick as well. Steering wheel's in good nick, all the trim's in good nick. No real scraping or scratching. Gear lever's good, automatic, obviously this one. Rear parking sensors. It's a really nice car. The only thing with it, like I said, is the retail for it 16.5, and would be the most expensive vehicle I've ever done. So I've got some bad news for you guys. To your disappointment, no doubt, I have chickened out of progressing the business onto more expensive vehicles. My excuse being the finance thing again. I don't offer finance. And as I said, I am who I am. I'm not a fancy sales place. So I've bowed to the someone further up the food chain and got a hold of my mate Theo at Bowen's. I'll put a link to his site down below, who does do newer, more expensive stuff. If I get it in, I tend to bung him a message because he likes the low mileage, prestige stuff. So I've bunged him a message, and I've taken the easy route out. I've taken a small profit fast. I think I'll live to regret it, to be honest. I expect by the time he's had this all detailed up and polished up on his website, it will fly out the door. Crap, that Pete's turned up again. I can't get the shutters down quickly enough to get out of here. Well, we have a case of instant seller regret here. I've driven the Freelander home and back last night just before I trade it out.
to Theo at Bowen's, just to make sure 100% it was okay. I wanted to leave it overnight at home and start it up first thing in the morning from cold, because that's when you find out if these diesels really have a problem. It literally, as soon as you hit the button, started up absolutely perfectly. Didn't see any smoke, anything on the button. Like I say, I've driven probably about an hour and a half in it now. Everything seems absolutely bang on. So seems like a good car, but deal's been done and I was too chicken to retail. Not because of the car, it's nothing to do with the quality of the car. You know, I did lots of checking on this car before I bought it, and I did do a good test drive on it before I bought it as well, so I knew it was decent and the story behind it was decent. You know, the people spent a good amount of money on a new car. I'm just not, I guess I'm just not confident that in my environment I can sell 16.5k cars. I don't know. Perhaps I'm underselling myself, but I just got in this comfort zone with the small CC stuff. We're going to try and get this one done today. We've got the Nissan in, obviously, and we've got somebody coming to see, potentially coming to see the Mitsubishi today. I'm just in my sort of comfort zone with the small petrol CC cars. I think at the moment, with the market the way it is, small petrol cars will be in demand. Low road tax, you know, good MPG, all that good stuff. So unfortunately, I've let fear overrule an opportunity, which we all do. We're all guilty of it. And the older we get, I think the harder it is not to do that. I think the younger you are, the easier it is to sort of be a little bit fearless with stuff. Theo's younger than me, so there you go. Yeah, so that will go off, and we'll see how he gets on with that. I think I will migrate to the more expensive vehicles, but there's a few things I want to get in line first. Like I say, I want to get the finance in line. I want to get the place properly tidied up, organised, decorated. I want to get some branded clog and all that kind of stuff on the go, and get the outside of the building branded up, and get rid of the trailer that you all keep giving me grief about. And then I think it may well be time to start to look to do that. But let's just take it step by step first. Yeah, so just obviously quick reminder on that. If you want a really nice low mileage, high spec Freelander automatic, I'll put a link to Bowen's down below, Theo at Bowen's down below. He does fantastic prep on his cars, he really does. He does cracking walk around videos on them as well, so worth having a look at his channel. I'll put a link to his channel. But they do go absolutely above and beyond prepping their vehicles. They're always absolutely mint. And they've got a fantastic reputation for customer service as well. So little plug for you there, Theo. But no, it's a good car and it'll be from a good dealer, so at a good price. So yeah, get yourself over there if you're interested.